So I reached out. I was like, I messaged. I said on Twitter, I was like, hey, if anybody has some interesting stories about like how they've been fucked over or something like that in esports, because I mean, people know like obviously the majority of people in esports have gone through some pretty interesting like fucking like career paths and like how they've fucking like for example, Steel in 100 Thieves, like the dude was like couch hopping or whatever for fucking millennia, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine like people have had not similar experiences. I mean, I know this is a little bit different topic, but I mean, like you said that you kind of got fucked over in Overwatch. I guess for people, because obviously now you play for Sentinels and Valorant, but you did play professional Overwatch for I want to say like 4 years or something like that, 3 years maybe, no, 2 to 3 years or something like that.
Yeah,
In that time frame.
2016 to like 2019. Like I went pro in Apex in 2019, the beginning of 2019.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
so it was like
And you
almost
kind of
3 years.
I guess we can kind of go down the timeline. Like, how did you even start into Overwatch in the first place? Like, how did you get into the
Yeah,
beta and all that
so
shit?
it's actually a funny. There's like so much like funny stuff about like back then. I don't know. Like so, I met Reaver who was on Cloud9 in Overwatch, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
met him in Dirty Bomb. Like before Overwatch came out, Dirty Bomb's like a random free to play FPS, but and then like we saw the announcement for Overwatch, and like I used to just play random games with Reaver, and he was like, "We're gonna fucking go pro in this game," and and he was friends with like Kai and all of them. Like they all knew each other before Cloud9, before Overwatch, and Kai knew like someone who had a guild in World of Warcraft that had a Blizzard employee, and everyone in the guild paid like $50 each to get like an invite into like the closed
Oh
beta or
my
something.
god, dude!
Like I think I was
What a
like dead,
play!
bro. I didn't even have $50. Like they didn't even know. They didn't even know it was like for sure they would get in. So I was like, oh, I'm not paying $50. So I played on Reaver's account in the closed beta in the beginning and
Oh
stuff
my
too,
god!
like just to get
You're gonna get
like
yourself banned,
practice.
bro.
I don't
Fucking
care. I'm not
account
playing
sharing.
that game.
Account sharing from back in 2016, dude. I
Yeah,
was actually a huge Reaver fan, bro. I was a fucking mess. I was one of those Reaver fanboys
that guy's
because
hilarious.
he was actually really good at the very beginning
Yeah,
of Overwatch. Like I copied his resolution, the 1366 by 768 and everything.
yeah.
But
A lot of
dude,
people
was it?
are on that.
I'm curious because I mean he fell off fucking hard. I just want to get like I don't know. Like I don't think he was cheating by any means. I know people like Surefour was the big one, but like how the fuck did he fall off so hard? Because like he was actually insane. Like he was fucking legit. Like I'm a little concerned he might have been actually aimbotting or some shit. I know you're friends with him, so maybe you could actually talk about that. But
I don't know. It's kind of like the whole team. Like I don't know.
he was
I
just
feel like
sussed out.
they just didn't like. I don't know. They didn't seem like the type of people that were like big grinders or anything either. You know, like you never really saw those
Yeah,
people like. But it was like only Surefour really that was like streaming and like grinding a shit ton. But
yeah.
I feel like it was just like one of those like early teams, like early on in the game they were good, and then like eventually like better people like came about and made teams.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
but he
People,
didn't. They didn't even. He didn't even try to like join a different team after that though. Like he's just like, oh, Cloud9's
he's just
done. Like
done.
I'm just quitting. Like, but
What's
he won
happened?
like a little bit of money in Fortnite and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then he kind of went on to be a what the fuck's he been up to, dude? The Let's
I
Go chat. The
have no
guy's just a
idea. I
fucking.
don't know.
He's just hilarious, man.
I'm
I
surprised
miss
his stream
Reaver.
didn't like blow up a little more because he was playing with like Tim the Tatman a bunch and whatnot.
Yeah. Maybe he
Yeah,
just didn't. I don't know. Maybe it was just the quality and shit like that. Like he would always go behind and fucking punch his punching bag or something like that. He's just a
yeah,
funny dude.
that's fun
He's just
as
a weird
fuck.
dude. Well, so what happened after that though? Like I mean,
Yeah.
obviously,
Okay.
because you.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So Team Liquid is like looking for like a DPS player, and like the Cloud9 guys like recommended me to try out for them. And it was like me and Mendo trying out, and like I don't think I was like either of us were necessarily better, but they were just like, okay, this guy's from like North America, and they're like both good, so just it's easier to
Yeah.
get like that. Like Liquid wouldn't let them get two EU people because they got Vonethil for support. If you remember
Yeah.
Vonethil, so
Yeah, I
it
remember.
was easier to just get me instead of like two EU players as well. And
Yeah, that makes
then
sense.
yeah, and I didn't end up signing with them because these guys offered like their salaries. I'm just gonna say it because it doesn't even matter now. But their salaries were like
No.
$250 a month in the beginning on Team
What the
Liquid,
fuck for Team
and
Liquid?
yeah, Cloud9's was $500 a month in the very beginning.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I thought they were at least getting like a grand or two.
yeah, so like they were offering me like a contract, and it was like $500 a month or something, and I was just like, I don't want to sign that. And then like they kept coming back like more like 750, like 1,000, and like that's still pretty
What the
bad.
fuck?
Then like IDDQD just like poached us to like make Fnatic. So like, and then
Yeah.
I was playing with them for a little bit, and then we realized like, yeah, we don't like IDDQD like thought he could like play projectiles or something, and then like he ended up just not. and they just like replaced me with like I don't know, like we both are like Widow players, me and WPD. So then I got.
So what happened? Yeah.
So then I got like screwed over there, kind of like, and then I couldn't go back to Liquid either. So like I got screwed over out of like 2 teams at the same time, and then I just messaged Too Easy because he got like removed from Reunited or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like me, Too Easy. I don't even know how we ended up with Slasher. We were playing with Slasher on support.
Yeah, he was on Flex support.
Yeah, and I think he found Shadowburn. Like he knew Shadowburn. Like, and we were like watching his like VODs on Twitch, and he was like insane as fuck. So like we messaged him, and then he was friends with Forsaken. I think Forsaken was originally playing like Rhino on our team or something too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and we had Real ZX. We had like some like random people. I don't even remember. And then eventually like Huck. I don't even know how Huck got involved in this, but Huck got Raucous and Fact Fiction to join our team from another team somehow. I don't even know how this happened, or like, yeah, but that's what happened. And then I think
was this when like FaZe was a thing at the very beginning of FaZe?
We were making our team like before we were signed to FaZe, and we were like playing under. We played a tournament under the Immortals name. I think Huck was maybe like helping like Noah Winston on or something. I don't even remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were like playing under like Immortals for a tournament, but then like. We just started receiving offers from like literally every org. Literally every org wanted to pick us up. Even orgs that had teams. We were talking to every org.
Because you guys were like the one unsigned team that was like pretty good,
we were
right?
the only unsigned team, and we were like placing like top 4 every tourney.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was when like Overwatch was booming, like the very beginning. But they were still like I can't imagine the salaries because I never got signed to a team back then. But like I can't imagine the salary was like even that good at that point, right? Like it was
in the very beginning. Like the tier 1 teams were getting like 1K a month or something. But I mean, my first salary when we signed to FaZe was $2,500 a month, and I'm pretty sure that was like one of the best salaries like in the game at the time.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and like now,
what happened after that then?
Nowadays standards, that's like still like insanely low.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it, like in Academy, that's like a little bit like in the tier 2 scene, that's probably like decent. That's like above it. Yeah. Well, not in Valorant. I mean, Valorant's obviously pretty solid too. But I mean, like,
actually pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
What's been? It's because of fucking.
Right now.
No, obviously. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's just because of the fact that I think it's because of the fact because Overwatch kind of proved that it was just like in the very beginning, like these games can kind of be forced into making like esports out of them. You know what I mean? Like. You can kind of make any game an esport, and people are like, "Oh shit!"
I think it's just because it's like a Riot Games game. Like, if some random company out of nowhere came out with this game, no one would fucking play it. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally only because it's Riot Games that it's popular.
Well, so real quick, just to go back to Overwatch, like, what happened? So, why did you not join Overwatch League? Like, why was that not? Because I remember. If you remember, I mean, obviously, Shock made the video with you in it as like a joke and stuff like that.
There's so many different things. I have a list of like, there's something that happened with like at least like almost every Overwatch League team. I'm not even kidding.
Oh no!
But
what happened?
Well, I mean, at first you have to like go to like FaZe. Like, I got like screwed over at a FaZe. Like, we wanted to replace like Forsaken because he just like wasn't like working anymore on that role.
Yeah.
And like I think like Shadowburn refused to replace him unless they like replaced me because I wanted to replace him, or like something like really stupid happened. But like my teammates didn't want to kick me, but like Shadowburn like just like talked to management and got me kicked or something, like just because I don't know, because I wanted to like replace his friend or something like that. And then like at the time of that, I couldn't even try out for other teams because the first Contenders was going on and all the rosters were locked. That was the time when that happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a whole shit show back then in the Contender scene.
Yeah, and then okay, so after that, then Overwatch League tryouts started, and like Cloud9 added me to their Contenders roster, and like Jack followed me on Twitter, like, and they were like, I know Legit RC was like running it, but these people literally told me like they're gonna sign me for Overwatch League. Yeah. And they even offered to like pay me right now, like under a Cloud9 contract, until they could sign me for Overwatch League, just to like keep me. Yeah. And so I declined other tryouts for Overwatch League because I was like, I'm just gonna join this team, like, which is so stupid at the time because you could get higher salary, but I was just like dumb at the time, and I was like, I'm just gonna join this team because like my friends are also trying out for this team and they want to sign me. Yeah. So and I was literally scrimming with Cloud9 for like 2 months, like under the impression that I was gonna join their Overwatch League team. And then we ended up building like a full roster and everything, or like we had like a bunch of people, and then like out of nowhere, last second, they just like announced the Korean roster and like unfollow us. Oh, it was like me and Mangachu that Jack followed, and then he like unfollowed us, and they just like announced the Korean roster like out of nowhere, and they're just like, okay, well, bye, like fuck you guys, I guess. And then like at the time it was too late. Like I was going to other teams, like oh, I was like, can I try out, blah blah blah, and like everyone already had like rosters. I don't know. Like I got cucked so hard out of the first season.
Wasn't that because of like? I mean, I know he's your current teammate, but like, was it not because of like Sinatra deciding that he wanted to go to Shock?
Yeah, no, that was a big factor too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if I don't even know if it was just like the money thing or like it was just like he'd rather go there. I mean, they were going. I know they were going back and forth with offers like nonstop, like Cloud9 Energy, like offer you this, offer you this, and then yeah, he ended up on Energy. But yeah, if he did pick Cloud9, I think they would have made an NA roster anyways.
Yeah,
and I think they still wanted to, but then like they're just like, yeah, fuck it, get the Koreans like out of nowhere or something. I don't know.
Oh my god, they're just like, we're just gonna pay all the money for these guys anyway.
But I mean, the Korean roster worked. They won the first season, right?
Yeah, but they still fucked. Like that was the comment. Like people were mad that I was talking about how Cloud9 is just kind of like, well, it's every esports org. Like I mean, you know, like every org has had shady shit happen in any negotiations or whatever. It's just kind of how it works, I guess. It's how the biz or whatever works. But I mean, Cloud9 was obviously part of the problem in that situation too, where fucking literally like 10 people were about to get a new job in fucking Overwatch League team, and then you're like, oh yeah, sorry, going to Korea. It's like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
What happened after that though? So did you have tryouts for other teams after?
After that, I'm not even kidding. I had an offer for like literally every academy team, like every single org's academy team offered me, and I said no to all of them because I was like, I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I was just like, this is so stupid. Like I was literally just competing with all these people that are going to be in Overwatch. Like I'm not going to be under like an academy name. That's just cringe. Like that's what I thought in my head, and I was just like streaming. I was like, I'm not going to play under like an academy. That's just cringe, and I was just streaming.
Yeah,
and then
I thought the same thing.
Then like last second, like Resi just asked me to join his team, and I was like, sure. And then then we played under like Simplicity for a little bit, and we just got like shit on or something. But dude,
no, I remember.
The worst thing was like the season 2 Overwatch League tryouts. I'm like, I think the best I ever played in that game was actually during the season 2 tryouts. Like not even like any other time I played in the game. Like I actually became so good on Diva. I don't even know why. Like I think honestly, like a big part of it was Remix was helping me out so much. Like after he got released from Gladiators, he was like telling me everything, like Bishu does everything like all the Overwatch League like divas do, and like we went through like every map and like how I should like be playing, and like I just like became I just like became like really fucking good around that time. And then I might have to let me look at my notes here. I just wrote down like the team names, like what team names that I might want to talk about.
There's like a few. There's like 5 tryouts, like every Overwatch League team.
Like almost like every Overwatch League team that had like NA players on it that I like had a chance to join. Well, also,
there's not many good NA off tanks too.
Yeah, there wasn't. Also the first season with Shock, like I was talking to Sephi and he told me like he only needs like a Pharah player right now or something. And they didn't have a Diva player, and then they picked up Nevix for Pharah, and then he just ended up being their off tank. Like so, like that could have been something that I could have done. I could have been the off tank on Shock too. And
every team was fucking weird in season 1.
A lot of it. Another thing that happened, Arrow messaged me to join FNR GFE, so I could have been on Outlaws. Like he said, like Cool Matt, Cool Matt couldn't play on 1 week, so they wanted me to like be on their roster. On the FNR GFE roster for contenders, but I was already on the Cloud9 roster, so I said no. But if I joined and played like good in like the match they asked me to play in, like I could have just been on the Outlaws roster too. Like there's so many random things.
Didn't Cloud9? Didn't you guys like win contenders or something like that though? Like that team or like the Cloud9 roster?
They might have. I'm not sure. I mean, I didn't even play. I don't think I played the matches on it because like they had they had like Silk Thread on the roster too. Like they had a bunch of they took a bunch of NA players. Just like they wanted to keep us for Overwatch League and like just let the EU players like play the rest of their matches or something. But just put us on their like Sinatra played 1 match like on EU servers and he like farmed them.
Oh my god! So what happened in season 2? You wrote down some stuff about some teams that you tried to try out for.
Oh, okay. So dude, I played like 30 different scrims with Boston. It was actually insane, and I played insane in them. And
Boston.
He literally offered me a contract. Like he's like, "Will you sign right now? Like 2-way minimum?" And I was just like, "No," like because like I was trying out for Atlanta and Guangzhou still. Like when he offered me that, so it'd be so stupid.
Yeah.
Why would I sign the 2-way for minimum when I'm still trying out for other teams? But like he offered me that, and I told him I'm still trying out for other teams or whatever. And I think Boston would have signed me 100%. Like at the time, Dallas was trying to buy Note from Boston. Like obviously they ended up buying him and like later on, but they canceled they like backed out of it, and then like Boston didn't end up signing me because they backed out like at the beginning.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What the hell?
And for Atlanta, dude, the Atlanta Tryouts, that was like the best I ever played in my life. I farmed the Atlanta Tryouts so hard, but it was a complete waste of time because they literally had an off tank signed before I even did the tryout. And they literally told me that if we can get our budget increased to like get like a bigger roster, like we'll sign you. Like they literally told me that, and then they didn't end up signing anyone else.
Damn, we could have been teammates, dude. Because they still had that team. Like it was just weird. Like they already signed Dako and Pokebo, I think. Already
they signed them like before I even tried out. But like they literally told me like the coaches are like super impressed with you, and like if we can get a bigger roster, like we'll sign you. Like that's literally what they told me. But yeah, so that didn't end up happening. And then there was Guangzhou too. Like I popped off so hard in those tryouts too, and like it was like me and like the other it was like me, McGravy got like that's like us and like all the tryouts, just like the few NA off tanks, and like they wanted to sign an NA off tank, and like I thought I played like insane in those too, and they told me like, or like I like asked them like what I should do if they're interested. They're like, oh, we're interested. Like if we decide to like get like an NA off tank, like we'll buy you out of whatever like contenders team if you join a contenders team. Like so like I did fine in those tryouts, and like they were interested, but that like never happened either. And the funny thing is all three of these teams ended up getting an off tank mid-season, like after I quit the game to like go to Apex. And
dude,
then
that sounds about right.
There's what else was there?
Well, so like, why did you even go to Apex in the first place? Like, why did you decide to go play that game? Because I heard playing professionally in that game is fucking AIDS. But I mean, obviously, you went to go swap in 2019 to Apex. Like, why was that?
Yeah, well, I mean, at the time, I wasn't really doing anything. It was like pre-contender season.
Yeah, there's a lull usually.
Yeah, me and Retzi were just like playing Apex for fun, and like we saw like all these orgs that had interest in it. So we were like, oh, like, why are we gonna play in contenders when we could just be on a tier 1 org in this game?
Yeah.
Like we were talking, like Retzi was talking in talks with like TSM, like and like literally like a bunch of tier 1 orgs. We were talking to like Fnatic, CLG, Sentinels, like NRG, like I don't know, like a bunch of orgs we were talking to. So we were like, well, why do we want to be fucking tier 2 in Overwatch? It's like literally impossible to even get into Overwatch League. Like no matter what you do, basically to a certain extent. So like I'm not gonna waste our time. Like let's just go pro in this game.
Yeah, a lot depends on like who you know, and then also like timing. Kind of. And then it's just like not really too many controllable factors, I guess.
Yeah, there is like another thing for like Valiant when they signed Finzi, like like Space was telling them to try Mia, and the coaches were just like, we don't even care because like whoever we sign is like never gonna play. So they signed Finzi. Finzi played like one map and they just signed him. Like, they didn't even care to like actually try anyone out, like just so they could have their like 12-man practice roster.
Yeah.
So like I could have done that. Kind of like they listened to Space, like the coaches or something. But I don't know.
I remember the Valiant B team like stink. Like there's a whole bunch of like weird stuff that happened. Like especially because you can't really make B teams work in Overwatch, and I don't think any game really.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't have even like did anything if I was on that team, but it would have been nice to like just be in the league, like maybe get like sent to a different team or something. But
yeah,
so I don't know. Like I feel like there's like nothing I could have even done to like actually play in Overwatch League like at that point.
Yeah, because I mean because the way I see it, I mean you probably saw it the same way. It's like every year, it's like season 1, for example, is like you'd have like I don't know, Shock or like 4 or 5, like you'd have 4 opportunities, right? But for the most part, like each of those would kind of just go away. Like you just have each one ready, but like it's just by the time you didn't get any of them, it's just too late, and you have to potentially go to an academy team. In season 1, like I agree with you, like you're like, oh, I don't really want to play on an academy team. It's like I was already competing at the tier 1 level. Why the fuck am I not playing in an actual Overwatch League? And I mean, it makes sense,
Yeah, even apparently when I was on Simplicity, like the management told me Shock was talking to them to like buy me out or something, and then like that didn't happen. They got like Troy Huben. But I mean, Troy Huben's a god anyway, so good for them. I guess probably way better than I would have been. for them.
Yo, if you liked the video, make sure you like below, leave a comment, whatever else you want, boys. Listen, Algorithm Gang is always here for us, and I appreciate you guys. Love you. Make sure you check out another highlight over here if you like it, or subscribe like we mentioned. But check us out live especially. That really helps. And also make sure you've been watching all of our highlights and all that kind of stuff. Recommend it to your friends. Whatever you want, man, because listen, we're just trying to grow, we're trying to improve, we're trying to get better, and, you know, it's a feedback system, so let us know what you guys think down below. We'll reply to you probably. Love you, boys. Catch you in the next one.